Now they're like, and there's like 3 or 4 of us and stuff, and we're sweeping this floor. We're making an impression. It's like when you're going out to someone and saying, it's like you see the keyboard and stuff, it's like reading the passwords. They understand how important it is. That's free education right there. That is better than any kind of IDS system or blinking light that's going to tell you about passwords, because now they're understanding that there's some real world consequences for that happening. When you send an executable through our network, through email, we get alerted to it. Within 15 minutes, if I'm in the same city as you, guess what? I'm going to be at your desk. Excuse me, I need you to get out of your seat. I need you to take a seat down. It's like, stand behind me. It's like, I'm going to look into the computer. I'm going to look at the registry. I'm looking at, folders and just whatever. I'm wasting my time right now. But I'm doing it for at least 5 minutes. You know what happens in that 5 minutes? That person has to stand behind me, watching me look on the computer, trying not to watch everybody, not watching him standing behind me looking at the computer. Who did I educate? I didn't just educate him. I educated all the 5 or 6 people around the cube around him. I educated the 10 to 15 people around the water cooler that talked about it afterwards. I educated the 20 to 30 people on Facebook that saw the posts and stuff, about what happened to Bob at work. I made that impression, and they realized, I don't want to be Bob right now. That's the enforcement you can use. That didn't cost anybody their job. That didn't cost anybody money. That created a good security awareness exercise. Security awareness is not dead. It's just, we're just not implementing it properly. It needs to be done in a way that will work. And this is not the only way that will work. This is just the way I'm working it. So we've learned, my whole thing, if you haven't noticed, is about communication. We've learned about how to communicate to upper management. We've learned how to communicate to our users. Now we go to how do we communicate amongst ourselves? Because this is how I see the industry. This is how I see the industry here. You've got 90% of everybody in information security work here. They go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning. They get off at 5 o'clock. It's a good job, pays well. They're happy. They go home, they do that, what's that stuff I never do with you, son? Games and catch and, all those things that I guess, fathers are supposed to do to their children that makes me a horrible father and a lousy husband. It's like they do that stuff. They interact with their family units. And it's like, they do it because it's a job. It's just a job to do. It's a good career move. And our internet and our networks would not be around if it wasn't for them. They do a valuable service. They do a great job. They are needed, but they just don't have the passion. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just, thinking that this is a good job. But then you've got this 8% here. This is the community. Congratulations. You're here. You're part of the community. It's not just a job. It's something that you're interested in. Something that you want to get involved in. Something you may have a passion for. Something you want to learn more about. So you'll go to a conference. You'll write a blog post. You'll get on Twitter and create conversations on Twitter talking about security. It's something you want to learn more and keep constantly working on. That's awesome. That's where everybody needs to be, is in the community. But we're not there. It's like, and one of the reasons I think that we're not there is because of this. You got that little pimple in the butt crack of the industry right here, the seam. And that's that 2% that love to resound out in the echo chamber. They're so busy shouting out with their tweets and stuff, they're not really listening to anybody coming back. They're doing their little tours and stuff, at the different conferences and stuff, not interacting with anybody, but just letting you know that they're here to help fix something. They're not helping. They shouldn't be there. It's like, I want that to die off. I want the industry to grow in the community, and I want that to be it. One of the main things that we also overlook is this right here. See that right there? The business. This whole white rectangle is still within the business. We are not securing just for the sake of security. We're part of the business. Business is there not for us to function. We're there so business can function. We're not all that. Case in point, As well as looking around for rock stars, I found this, which was awesome. It's by Henry Rollins, who I think is one of the most awesomest people in the world. He's the singer of Black Flag and Henry Rollins Band. He's a poet, he's an artist, he's an actor. It's like all around, rock star who doesn't like being a rock star. And he wrote, listen to the stage manager, get on stage when they tell you to. No one has the time for your rock star BS. None of the text backstage care if you're David Bowie or the milkman. When you act like a jerk, they're completely unimpressed with your infantile display that you might think comes with your dubious status. They were here hours before you building the stage, and they'll be here hours after you leave tearing it down. They should get your salary, you should get theirs. We know the backstage of a concert thought it was freaking epic. Because that's what it's about. It's about something else. David Lee. Not David Lee Roth, and I'm talking about rock stars here. David Lee, police officer, doing a patrol in his neighborhood that he always patrols, notices a car he's never seen there before. He runs the plate. Car stolen. Pulls the guy over. Wrestles with the guy, almost loses his gun twice, apprehends the dude. Who is that dude? Ted Bundy. Oh, wait, hold on. We know Ted Bundy, don't we? Why don't we know David Lee? Simple. He was doing his job. He was doing his job. He wasn't, all excited about the fact that he put a murderer off the jail so he could go to the next police convention and talk about how he apprehended Ted Bundy. He was doing his job. He wasn't excited about that guest spot that he might get up on Oprah and stuff, or in the news. He was doing his job. What about, Rolf Mueller, Robert Mall? They're not a techno band from Germany, I promise. And stuff, so I like, a little techno every once in a while. No, there are two cops that were patrolling their neighborhood, very bad part of town, see a naked guy come up to him with a handcuff on his wrist, coming up to the car, speaking gibberish, freaking out, and just acting all crazy. Did they tase him? Did they shoot him? Did they just finish putting the cuffs on him and put him in the back of the car? No, they listened to him. They listened to his story. No matter how unbelievably it sounded, they followed in on it and followed up with it, and they arrested Jeffrey Dahmer. We know Jeffrey Dahmer. Why do we know those guys? Oh, yeah. They were doing their job. They were doing what they were supposed to do. We in this industry are doing our job. We're not saving the world, one computer at a time. We're not saving the life and stuff, by keeping the 911 system up from APT and stuff, from the SCADA systems, being attacked by, Russia. We're doing our job. It's a great job. It's an awesome job that I love doing. Doesn't make me any better than the people that are right now on these streets and stuff, in the fire departments and the paramedics and the police officers that are doing their job. I am just doing my job. Get over yourself. And I'm not like me. Because that's one of the other things. And this is one of my confessions, dude. DEFCON 12. DEFCON 12, I was one of the biggest fanboy speed whores you've ever seen. I had spray painted my hair blue. It was one of the worst moments of my life. It was one of the most, I will not run from anything that I've made a mistake in, because every one of those mistakes made me better. It's like I made a huge mistake there. I was so busy throwing my camera in front of HD and Theodore and FX and stuff, I never talked to them. I just got a picture with them. How did that enrich me? How did that make me better? Maybe really more annoying. Did make me better. It wasn't until I stopped that and I started talking to people like Major Malfunction and FX and started learning about the community and about the involvement that I started getting better. When I started realizing it didn't matter what color my hair was or how lean I thought I was, but how much I was willing to listen, that I started getting better. But there's another problem. You get that kind of education. You want to start, learning. But there's a problem with our industry. We're a very cynical bunch. Right. We take a passion in showing how everything needs to be destroyed or teared down. So when someone comes up with a new idea, someone who's never been heard from before and stuff, has something to say, why don't they say it? Because they're afraid. You're afraid of getting teared down. I have so many people that have come up to me and talked to me and said, it's like, well, I want to say this, but I don't want to, get laughed at. I want people to mock me. So, and I'm like, say it. Be part of the community. Start adding your voice to it. We need more voices. I am tired of being up here on this stage and seeing so many smart people in that audience who've never given a talk. We need more people involved in this community. We need more people like you doing research. You see talks that you see that you've done research that you're passionate about, and you see a speaker on there and you're like, yeah, he said this one thing, but I sort of disagree. Do a talk on it. Do research. Do a blog post. Write something. Contribute. We need more of those voices. Yes, there are going to be haters. Yes, there are going to be people that are going to love to destroy things. There are people that love to tear you down. But you know what? We need more builders. We need more people willing to make that choice to say, I'm going to try to make it better. You know the Mona Lisa? It's a great painting. I can destroy it with a laser. I figured out ways to do it and stuff, certain kind of acid and stuff, that you can delay and stuff, give it to the glass. I can destroy the Mona Lisa in beautifully exotic ways. Can I paint it? Let me have a crack at Michelangelo's David. I mean, freaking, we're talking chisels and C4, pickaxe and stuff, I can do some Wile E. Coyote stuff on that sucker. Can I sculpt it? No. It is so easy to tear down in this industry. If you can tear something down, that's awesome. Show me how to fix it. When you show up to these conferences and you think you're all that, and you're so busy with your entourage and stuff, and getting drunk at the bar, and you don't think you have time for other people, eventually this industry is not going to have time for you. This is about communication. You have something to contribute. I want to see you contributing. People have said that there's too many conferences. There's not enough. You need to start submitting to B-sites. There's local InfoGuard, local ISSA, local 2600 groups, DC groups. Get involved. I have dissectinghack.com. There are no advertisements. I pay money for every single month on that site. And it's only there for people to come up with, they've got a blog and they have nowhere else to post it. They can post it on my site. I don't make a dime off of it. And I've had people start blog posts there, and I've had them start giving talks. I am never going to build a tool that's going to help you. I don't program. I suck at it. I am never going to create a research or discover some kind of zero-day vulnerability that's going to protect the internet. But I've helped people who have had ideas that were awesome, and I helped encourage them to get up here and talk about it. I've helped people write, I'm done. I had people come up to me at DerbyCon. First time he's ever given it, first conference he went to was last year at DerbyCon. This year he presented. Based off of the talk I gave him information on and gave him encouragement to do. I'm done. Everything else I accomplished after this is bonus. I want to see you guys up here next year. You have wonderful ideas, great research that you can accomplish. Get up here and talk about it and share that knowledge with me. I am always going to be available anytime in the conference. I don't just show up to a conference, give my talk, and leave. I am there for the duration so people can come up and talk to me. One of the things I like to do about awkward hugs is not just for the weirdness, but it makes me approachable. I want people to come up and talk to me. It's like because I learned not from the person that's standing up here for 1 hour. I learned from the hours of conversation that I have with them after it. Or the people that are in the audience and stuff, that start talking to me outside. That's where I get my education from these conferences. That's why I come here. 1 hour speaking is not worth it. It's because of the interaction and learning from you that makes it worth it. So start contributing, start being part of the solution, start being part of this community. Stop just passively looking at it and seeing the cesspool and not wanting to swim. Start getting a shovel and helping us clean it up and make it better. Because you're going to fail. You are going to fail. I guarantee you and I promise you that. I know it from experience. I'm almost an expert at it. But there's one thing after I say that's important, and it's the and. You failed, and You learned from it. You failed and you got better. Forget about the first part. That's going to happen. What do you do after the and is what counts. Understand that. And as soon as you do that failure, you're going to get talked about on Twitter. Trust me, I know that from experience as well. Does it destroy you or does it make you better? You need to learn from that. So there's some links. There's the end. And I really am done.
And we have actually about 3 minutes for questions.
If no one wants any questions, that's fine. I will be out there the rest of the day and stuff if you want to come up and talk afterwards. But is there any questions now? Good for me. I'll see you guys out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
How is it?